Hey guys, welcome back to Mo's Game Table. Today we're going to take a look inside Russia Besieged Deluxe Edition Player's Guide. This is a guide written by Art Lupinacci and published by Compass Games. I recently got hold of this and I wanted to share a look inside with you, especially for those who have been curious about this one or maybe not even aware that the Player's Guide is now available. And I believe, if I remember correctly, that Art was saying that there may even be a second one in the works, which would be pretty fantastic. So Russia Besieged is a really big, fun game from Compass, and I really like when a company not only puts out a great big deluxe edition like they did with Russia Besieged, but they also went the extra step and they come out with a player's guide. Inside this, you're going to have some errata counters, some new counters, variants, play, advanced rules, as well as multiple guides written by Art Lupinacci about how to do different aspects of the game. So let's take a look inside and see what you get. And inside we get two half counter sheets, a Russian and German order of battle card, and our player's guide. So let's take a closer look at all the components. We'll take a look at the counter sheets that come with the game. We have some Russian and German fortification counters, historic setup variants over here, and then we have some new odds markers, errata counters, and some other additional administrative counters along the bottom. Second sheet, we have more victory point and German control markers, as well as additional units that you can use in the game. Then we have two new order of battle cards, one for the Germans and one for the Russians. These are double-sided, so they'll have the no new unit order of battle on the back, and on the front, we'll have the new unit order of battle. Now we'll take a look inside the player's guide. It is a beautifully done 61-page book. I think Compass did a fantastic job on this one. You have the inside of the front cover gives you the table of contents, lists out all of the different articles so you can easily reference them. Illustrated examples of play, there are a ton of them in this book. You have any of the applicable tables are added into the book so you don't have to pull out your game itself. Full color, full page illustrated examples. Here in some sections are smaller illustrated examples where needed, but easy to read, easy to follow, nice big text. So, hey, I really appreciate that because, seeing a couple of these games that I've shown on the channel where the text is really, really tiny, this is not. So easy to read. You have techniques now, aside from the opening turn example, now we get into techniques for the war economy, the Blitzkrieg. So you have your CRT, your Blitzkrieg table here. And we continue on with that for a few pages. As you can see, really easy to read, so no problems understanding how everything works, and definitely set in a way that's going to be a great addition to the game because it's not only going to give you more information, but it's going to break things down that maybe you understand, but you're still kind of uncertain of with the game, and I think that's a fantastic tool for fans of Russia Besieged. And then we have an example of the Leningrad Ice Road here, how that's explained, your CRT, the war economy for both Russia and Germany. Then we get into partisans and how those are used, and they're a big part of the game. Russian paratroops, the end game, stopping them at the Oder River. Realistic odds, breaking down the odds for you here. Then you have the making of Russia Besieged, which is a write-up by Art Lupinacci that explains to you how basically the game's genesis and how everything has evolved from other games and how they're different. Like over here, you've got some examples when we get into the next couple pages here that talk about dice roll modifiers. And they give an example of Stalingrad, Battle of Moscow, the Russian campaign, and then you get into Russia Besieged. So you can see similar instances across different games and how they contrast and compare. And I think that's pretty cool. If you want to, if you're a big fan of this game, it's just something you can use as a nice little study guide, not only to learn about this game, but to compare it to other games as well. And I think that's really fantastic when that's added in. If you're a big fan of the game, you're going to really love this. Then we get into combat results, German impulse move, end of the second impulse. We get the Russia campaign, talk about that, Russia Besieged. And then we have weather in East Front war games, again, contrasting, comparing with different games. And then we have the official new advanced rules. Hanzo Rudel is here, and then you have an attack table for him. And we have the Hans Rudel oil markers and fortification counters and how those are used in the game. Then we have the historical Russia Besieged designer and researcher Paul Popejoy goes into the historic counters, the Finnish Bomber X bonus variant, and the errata counters. And there's a little note down here, and then you have building fortification, a illustrated example of how that's done, and then how to use the Hans Ulrich Rudel, and that continues on to the back cover. And that is a look at everything you get inside of Russia Besieged Deluxe Edition Player's Guide, written by Art Lupinacci and published by Compass Games. You get 2 half sheets of counters, 2 new order of battle cards, and a 61-page Player's Guide. It's chock full of great information. It will help new players as well as existing players that have plenty of experience will definitely get something new out of this, including all the variant rules that you've got. So there are a couple of little changes, and they're optional. They don't need to be used, but this is just something to give you a more fuller experience with this game. And hats off to Compass Games for doing a great job on this one. Beautifully done illustrated examples, big illustrations, big text, love it. And I'm a really huge fan of illustrated examples of play. I think it's really great for the visual learners like me. Not only do you see it, read the text, but you're seeing the supporting image on the other side. So it makes the whole concept easy to understand and also makes for great reading when you're looking to read something else about a game that you enjoy. You can kind of dig in a little deeper with this player's guide. Well, I hope that helps you guys out if you've been curious about this one. If you have any comments or questions, post them down below. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.